So good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever time that you are watching this video. I am Richard Taylor, and I'm going to get right into this story. It was a few days ago I received a call from a very reputable member of the community. And this gentleman asked me, who does he talk to about using what is called now the Wayne Academy track. But it originally started as the Goldsboro Junior High School track, or the Goldsboro Middle School track, right over there on Lionel Street, which was formerly the Goldsboro Junior High School. Now, if you remember, about 4 months ago in October, I first received a call from a concerned citizen and also a member of the Wayne Academy staff saying that they had closed the track. They had put a lock on the track, and it said, use of this track is prohibited. If anybody wants to use this track, you can call such, right? And they had this sign on it, and they also had a lock on the Lionel Street side. And so back then I questioned the individual who told me about it, and that individual came back with some information saying, they said if anybody who wants to use the track now, they have to talk to the principal at the Wayne School of Engineering. And so my first question then was, what does this have to do with the Wayne School of Engineering? What does this community track have to do with the Wayne School of Engineering? And many people know that track. People for years have used that track. Young people, old people, athletic groups, trainers, everyone in the community has used that track for years. So that's why it was disheartening and also upsetting, not only to myself, but to other members of the community who felt that they should still have access to this staple in the community. So now it all comes full circle, because when the gentleman called me the other day, I told him, well, I remember doing a story about that 4 months ago, but the Herman Street side, they said the Herman Street side was open where people can go in and still walk the track. They just couldn't get in on the side that was locked. Now, I haven't researched it, or I haven't been there like this. Today is Saturday. I may ride by there on the way to the gym, but I have not been there to see if people can still get in on that side, on the Herman Street side. Nevertheless, I said, well, it all makes sense now, because mind you, I did that video 4 months ago talking about the closing of the track, and the lady told me, well, now you have to, if anybody who wants to use it, they have to talk to the principal at the Wayne School of Engineering. Once again, I was like, how does this Wayne School of Engineering relate to the Wayne Academy? So as we see, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, the new superintendent, Dr. Mark Wichard, announced that he would be moving the Wayne School of Engineering to what is now the Wayne Academy. And therefore, it makes sense now. Is why that individual told me that whoever wants to use this track, they have to go through the Wayne School of Engineering. And I believe that, as many others believe in the community, that is a drawback from this engineering school being focused on all the more. Because now, since that school has moved to that location, that track is not going to be available for members of the community who has walked that track, who has used that track to stay in good health, use that track to stay in good mental health, physical health, to bond with their family, their loved ones, to train, to just really build a healthy community. And so this is why, like I mentioned in previous videos, that we may have to reconsider the people that we bring in to run our school board and our school system, because once again, if they're not from here, they're not privy to the individual nuances of the community. We're making changes such as the changes he proposes, how they're going to affect a lot of the community in ways he may not know anything about. Just like this young man, he runs a gym. He's been taking his children in the community to that location for years, because that is the best track. And now he's going to have to find another location to take these tens, maybe hundreds of kids that he trains to another location. And I'm sure my brother won't mind me mentioning his name, Mr. Steve Ashford from Ashford Boxing Gym. He has a concern, a staple in the community has that concern where, he's no longer able to use something that he's been using to train the youth outside of school. Now, as I mentioned in a previous video, Dr. Witchard is holding a forum, for lack of a better word, or a budget presentation, Friday, February 29th, for people to come out and hear his budget plan, as he said, and also focus on his plan and vision for, the Wayne County Public Schools. Once again, it says, share his vision and plans for making every Wayne County Public School one where all families want to send their children to learn and grow. Now, I expect, everybody who had concerns, or who have called and voiced concerns, or who have even commented on posts. I've seen several posts about the situation since I found out, and made a few videos about it. There's a lot of things that people have said concerning their their concerns. So last night there was the Goldsboro Eastern Wayne High School game, and I see a lot of posts, and I see a lot of people who are talking about that game, who actually attended that game. So I want y'all to have the same energy, the same fervor when it comes to something that is much more important than athletics, which is these students' ability to learn and succeed and develop the necessary social skills and the social tools to be a productive member of society. And I think that's one reason why these things are happening, because we are involved in or over-involved, which is good. Sports is good. Sports has done wonders for many young men and women in developing, once again, social skills and sportsmanship and, cognitive skills, things of that nature. But, we need to have that same energy when it comes to, what is going on in the classroom, what is going on in the, in the school board meetings and rooms and things like that. We have to keep that same energy. And actually, it's very telling on, one of the articles that I read where, Mr. Witchard or Dr. Witchard focuses on, how much money that this new restructuring of schools is going to save. I think he said it's going to be about $750,000 or $750,000, which is good. We save money, but never once in this plan and this vision does he talk about how we're going to improve these test scores. How are we going to upgrade or enhance the students' capabilities to learn? How are we going to, better train our teachers? How are we going to, stop suspension rates? How are we going to get these buses running? you know, how are we going to get to school? And someone pointed out to me a very important thing. They said if a mother doesn't bring her child to school, you know, or make her child available to school, then she goes to jail, right? But when it comes to the school system not being able to get the school kids to school, nobody's held accountable. That's a major problem. And when I mentioned, or when I went to a school boarding and somebody brought up the school, you know, the inability of buses to run, you know, they made the, I guess, justification, where they're you know, it's just not us, you know, it's in Greene County too, it's in all of these, we're running just about at the efficiency of all the other schools. That doesn't matter when a kid is getting 20, you know, missing 20 days in a month of school because his mother doesn't have a car and the buses are not coming to get him. You know, so if every school system in the district is jumping off a cliff, are we supposed to say, yeah, we're going to jump off a cliff too? Because every school district in the nation, now we need to be finding a way to fix that, not justifying it, saying, okay, well, this is an everywhere problem. But, you know, solutions start, you know, right here. We can't worry about what's going on elsewhere. But, you know, and then I spoke with the teacher from the Wayne Academy about, you know, a meeting that Dr. Witchard had with them earlier in the week. And she was like, well, you know, and I asked her, how's everybody feeling? She was like, well, you know, nobody don't like having to go way out to Eastern Wayne. And, you know, but he made it seem like we really don't have a choice. And that's, once again, an issue as well, because that affects the morale of the teachers. If the teachers and the staff is low, then how do you think that's going to affect the students? You know, they talked about some of the conditions, or, you know, what they're going to have to do when they take the children out to Eastern Wayne. They're going to be forced to not have their own, you know, library, and not have their own tools and everything, and have to share those things with, you know, students at Eastern Wayne. And I believe, you know, it was this person's opinion of what he said, or paraphrasing of what he said, well, you know, you're just going to have to figure it out, you know, but, you know, it's already a foregone conclusion, or he has been hell-bent on making this decision, and it seems that decision has already been made. So, but it is now and I'll be contacting her as well. My sister Joanne Sproul said that, you know, she tagged the notification about the budget presentation, and she said tag and show up in them and say, Mom has some ideas, holler at her and let him share them with you. So I'll be definitely hollering at her mother, who's once again a very prominent teacher in the school system, who has since retired, but, you know, she has a love for these children as well, because she dedicated her life to that. And so I just want people to be aware of how this all makes sense now, and how, you know, 4 months ago, and this how long it's been in the planning, but it's been in the planning much more longer than this, because, once again, these things that don't happen overnight. But 4 months ago, I reported on the Dillard, I don't know what I call it. I reported on the Wayne Academy track being closed, and now we see why now that it's being closed, because of this decision by the Wayne school, by the school board. I'm sorry, I just got distracted by that that messenger call. But you know, we see that it has been influenced by that decision of Dr. Witchard, and, you know, his wanting to, you know, focus on the School of Engineering, and, you know, move things around so that school is more comfortable. You know, that school is more comfortable, and then, you know, you stuff the rest of the 9th through 12 in the C building, basically. You know, Goldsboro High School, and then you know, you just start shuffling people around, which, you know, once again, it saves the schools money, but there's been no conversation about how this move is going to help improve grades, improve test scores, improve SAT scores, all of those things. So those are the things that I'm concerned about. So if you got any information about this, 919-587-7782, and I'll be back with more probably later, because I received a few phone calls last night that I wasn't able to get to concerning, once again, this issue. So hopefully everybody will show out with the same energy as they showed out for the Easter Wayne game and the Goldsboro game. Peace and blessings.